Hey everybody, Kelly Sue with Cleopatra Art Studios here, and this is, I know, I went out of town, but we are gonna paint our Happy Easter Bunny porch cleaner. He's on the other side, boom. He's on the other side of our Hello Spring Gnome. So I just wanted to get this done so you have a resource if you're one of the lucky ones that have ordered this or you're thinking about ordering it. And first things first, make sure your parts are there. Happy, Easter, rabbit, heart, done. It's all done. So if you get a kit from us, it obviously does not include the wood. You'll go down to Home Depot and pick up a board, bat your little eyeballs at them, and have those fellas cut your wood at 60 inches. Now, one thing to keep in mind is this is a 12-inch board, but it measures like 11 and a bit. Like 11 and a bit. Like 11 and just a little bit, like an 8. It seems so weird. Guys, if it's 11 inch, say 11 inch. If it's 12 inch, say 12 inch. Somebody's compensating. All right, keeping it clean because it's Sunday. Okay. You want to totally tape up your pieces so you don't lose them. Specifically for painting with your girl, and your mojitos are flowing. Here we go. 2 different fonts. I really like the Happy. Just gonna tuck it under. And then the rabbit. So one thing to keep in mind is this was our first rabbit attempt. It was meant to go way off the board. And I wanted your rabbit to be taller than my rabbit because hello, rabbit. So yours is a little bit bigger and it folds off the side the way it was intended to quite a bit. Okay, little eyeballs. But I have the original. You know, I tell John, cut it yay big, and he does, and it's never right. So then he goes back to the original. Poor fella. Okay, so we're just gonna tuck everything under here, and we're gonna go ahead and paint our board. So it's this pine. I'm going down. I dropped the bow tie. You could also make it a girl by putting the bow tie in the hat area. Okay, you're gonna take your pine board, and just to remind you guys, on the back side is my Hello Spring Gnome. So you get 2 sides per board. Okay, let me go ahead and put that in place. Sand it down. If the knots bother you, there's things you can do for the knots. I'm a knotty girl. I like the knots. I know, crazy, right? And I just had my paintbrush. Oh, here it is. So I like to see the wood grain, so I'm going to really water down my paint a bit. The sample shows a very pastel-y board. I don't see anything wrong with that. I think it'd go great. But I'm thinking, I really love our fashion colors of Teal Me About It and Bluesy Goosey. So we got to mix those babies up. Here we go. Ta-da. So you're just going to take a craft paint, any craft paint you like. I like Deco Art. That'd be a good choice. And I'm going to water it down a smidge. You want it to flow. Oh, these look so good together. Mix up your own paints. It's just good. It's a good thing. I wonder if I have enough. It's a big board. Let's try it out. Let's try it out. I kicked something, guys. I didn't eat beans for lunch. So tell me what you're doing today on Sunday. I don't normally film on Sunday. You'll catch us here live tomorrow night for sure, for sure. Hopefully you like this color. If not, it's okay because it's my work. You can pick out your own color. The freeze is almost over. So pretty much regular glue. I like the type on Quick and Thick. Is going to be a good choice for your pieces. I get asked all the time, I live in Minnesota, I live in Montana. It gets cold in here. Will the glue work? The answer is no. If your area drops lower in temperature than what the glue is rated for, you'll walk out one morning and your pieces will be on the ground. But if you're handy or have a handyman on your payroll, like I I do. You can just drive some pin nails in the pieces and we're good to go. I look pretty crappy today. Sorry, guys. Sorry, not sorry. We drove over to Montana real quick to check on Mama. So I need a little bit more. Okay, I have Bluesy Goosey and my Tell Me About It and some water. I don't know if it's gonna match exactly, but we'll blend a little bit. And then let's face it, the rabbit's gonna be covering up a lot of this. So tell me how you're doing today. I don't know if I'm seeing any comments yet because I don't have my computer. So I'll get back to you. If you have a comment to make, you want me, or a question, I'll get back to you. Just go ahead and talk to me right now. So this one is on our website. And what I'm doing right now is creating a resource for whoever wants it, whoever needs a little bit of extra help with this project. So you're gonna paint the board, paint your pieces, add some detail work, glue it together. We all have this. So we got up in the morning to drive back from Missoula, Montana to Spokane to kind of beat the weather, so to speak. And it's just blustery. It's not really doing anything else. You go ahead and paint your sides. You want to make it nice and complete. I'm going to go ahead and put this to the side to dry. Don't be checking out my yoga pants. Like I said, I look ridiculous today. So much work to do. Okay, here we go. Ta-da! Not bad. Not bad, folks. Now we just have the pieces. So we went through that lickety split. Work on it as much as you want. Some of you guys work on it a lot, I know. I'm gonna work on the rabbit. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my taped pieces. I did not tape them very well. My Easter font. Sabrina, your singing is gorgeous. We just love it. Okay, and the inside of the ears. Okay, here we go. So what you can do is just paint over top of his face. It's etched. So number one, you know exactly where all the pieces go. And number two, there's a little bit of interest there. So what you can do is get a toothpick and clean out your lines as you're painting. There you go. And I'm thinking a really nice and light gray like we did on our hop the other night ago. So I'm gonna grab my gray, which is white and black. So make sure it's white first, black second, or you'll have a really dark gray. Ta-da. My potter's needle. Once upon a time, I was a potter. It's pretty intense. So we're gonna go ahead and grab the white, just Craft Smart white, nice and thick. I'm gonna make sure that I have a Q-tip. No, sorry, the other pick, the toothpick, not the Q-tip. Mix that together. And everything is nice and big, so, okay, that's way too dark. Everything's nice and big, so you can use a bigger paintbrush and you can get it done pretty rapidly. If you're doing these for girls' night, you can paint something, grab a mojito, paint something else, grab another mojito. You see how we do things. This is how we do things. It's a real pretty, show you a real pretty wood grain. But it's starting to already dry and be kind of a pain in the butt. So what I'm doing is I'm regulating or controlling the fluidity. I'm adding water. Fancy talk for I just added water. Bam. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. And tell me, are you still working on your early spring and St. Patrick's Day projects, or are you starting in on your Easter? Because I want to know, like, are you ready for Easter projects yet? Because I got to tell you, if you wait till April to order, you're gonna be pushed a little bit. Pushed a little for time. But you don't have to be working on it just yet. I do. I keep stepping on that. I do because I need to get everything ready for you guys to make it nice and easy. Okay, this paintbrush is falling apart. It's like my uncle at a family reunion. The hairs are falling out. I get asked all the time, number one, where my wet wipes are. It's okay, I have a towel. Which is right next to the wet wipes. I get asked all the time, do I paint the edges? And I call, you know, just, it's personal. That's what I think. If you want to paint the edges, you paint the edges. But keep in mind, I'm going to come back and give everything a second coat, but I'm not for the show because it just would go on and on and on. And it's Sunday, and there was leftovers to eat. Absolutely, I don't even know. Oh, we're having teriyaki pork kebabs with fried rice. So we're doing it nice and easy tonight. Using some leftovers. Got a little water in there, thin it down a little bit. If you have the Martha Stewart sponges, get it going on this. That would work great. And so I am covering, just going right over, hold it down because it's annoying. Just go right over the face, right over the etching. And before it dries, I'm just going to take my toothpick, the pointy end one, not the like the soft ones. And I don't even know what those are for. And just kind of go in and scratch out the paint. Now, if you are a little heavy with your paint and it's oozing over the side, I would suggest, yeah, take a minute and, you know, just paint the sides if you wanted to. Or what Colleen likes to do is if it's just a little bit, she mixes up some brown paint to match and she touches it up. I'm like Colleen where I like the brown. It's kind of like char. But what I feel is it gives your work of art just kind of a finished edge to it. But maybe you disagree. And I'm lazy. Let's go ahead and throw that out there. There's so much to paint, and I love to do it. But a lot of times I just need a photo for the top, unless I'm gifting or if I'm using it myself. This one will be going out on my porch because the front or the back side is the gnome that we painted a month or two ago. And when I'm ready, I will just flip it over to Easter. And then when I'm ready, I'll flip it back until it's time for us to do summer. In summer. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and it's nice and soft gray. I'm happy with that result. I'm gonna go ahead and use my pointy toothpick. Sean has some company over, so the dogs may bark and they're obnoxious. I get that. Okay, honestly, the eyeballs and the heart nose cover up that space, so really all I need to clean out is the whiskers. So these 3 whiskers on this side, and the 3 on the other side, and then the mouth. You don't have to do it all. Do you want to do it before it dries? So if I'm going to give it a second coat, I'm going to do it again. Hopefully y'all get that. Oh. Follow the lines, Kelly Sue. He's super cute. What a cute rabbit. Okay, so if you're just joining, I know there's a lot of you just checking on now. We're doing the Happy Easter Bunny porch cleaner. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and blow dry this. And actually I'm gonna paint the ears and the eyes and stuff, and maybe everything will be ready to go. I'm gonna do a really soft pink. I made this pink, so it's just red and white, a tiny bit of yellow, a tiny bit of gray, lots of white, lots and lots of white. I like to make my own colors. And they're fashion colors after all. Add a little white to it. And I'm spilling everywhere, which is pretty typical. Okay, here we go. You can use a sponge for this. So what's your favorite Easter candy? Maybe you don't celebrate Easter, that's fine. I love the malted Easter eggs. The little ones, not the big ones. The big ones I used to bite when I was a kid and lick them and make my lips a different color. And I thought I was just all that, right? I thought it was so cool. And every kid in the world did it, I'm sure. I'm sure you did it too. That was pretty simple. Ta-da! If you stick around, I'm going to show you how to do some shading on this stuff. The nose, I think I'm going to go ahead, where's my photo? A little pinker. I'm going to clean my brush out. Just a little pinker. So no white. And I'm not really into bright pink colors. If you are, go for it. Make it crazy beautiful. Red. And I got my glitters out. I have a nice red, one of our colors too. Oopsie. I get asked all the time what kind of paint to use. Well, we have our fashion colors now, but really Deco Art's great, Craft Smart is great. You can do latex house paint if you wanted to. Maybe you have a lot of it laying around. That's okay. I'd probably put a sealer on most of the paint out there. Okay, the black I want to use my fluid acrylic because it's intense. And I just need a little bit for the eyeballs. One coat and it's done. All right, so the cheeks on my rabbit are cheeky. They're cheeky, they're colored. So I'm gonna blow dry my face and show you how I would do it with pastel sticks. Get it wet, or get it dry though. Oh yeah, I really love those malt balls, and now I'm kind of having a hankering, little craving. So I know you're busy today, you don't have to stick around, you can check back later or look for the photo. In our website, if you end up purchasing this, we'll put the link so you can watch the video. We don't want you to be left alone on a bigger project like this. Perfect. All right, so you could use watered down paint and just kind of rub it on, but this is what I'm gonna do. I have a nice pink, and this is bright pink. And then where's my, I have some Neo sticks too. I'm gonna go with that. So these are just gelato sticks. You may or may not have them. This is from when I used to do a lot of mixed medium. Ooh, this one's looking pretty good. Ooh. I think that'll be too bright. No, we're gonna go for it. So my fingers are completely dry. And I'm just gonna kind of dot similar sized circles. You guys can see, I just kind of dotted them. I'm gonna do a little dotting on the inside. You could take a wet wipe, it's super simple, guys. Now these are water soluble, so if you are using them, I definitely use a sealer. But if you don't want to use a sealer, you can use a little bit of white paint. So let's do one cheek with a wet wipe. So when I show you how to do things, I like to use it as experiment time, give you guys options. I am not going very hard. I tend to have like a Hulk-like heaviness to my hand. I know, I'm not being mean to myself, I tend to. So I just wanted to show you how soft that is right there, soft. And then you can also just take a little bit of paint and clean my finger. So, and what happens with the paint is the paint will seal it. So I have a little bit of paint, not much. Oh, you know what? Let me go in with the gray. That way it's similar. And I'm just going to, the moisture from the paint activates the gelato stick. And then it will set it. You know, I almost like that better. The edges, oops, hello. The edges are a little strong for me. You can also use a sponge. I'm just gonna go in and just lightly clean up where I went a little over. And I need to clean out my whiskers again. I honestly love this so much better than that one. That one just looks dirty, and it's probably because the gray showing through. So let me show you the difference, and then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna fix it. Okay, so here's the gelato pen and the paint, the gelato pen, and just kind of smeared in. So let's go ahead and fix that so it looks similar. I'm thinking I could probably get away with not putting any more gelato, and I call it a pen, but it's really a crayon. So water-soluble crayon. You can get them on Amazon. Okay, no, I'm gonna put a little bit more on there. You can get them on Amazon, you can get them at Michael's, Dick Blick. What was I doing here? You name it. You don't have to do it. You can do this with paint. But those of you that are a little apprehensive about doing this with paint, I'm gonna add a little moisture. You can do it with these other products. Oh, it's so funny. Sean's friends and my husband all get along so good. I don't know if you can hear the giggles. Makes it worthwhile. All right, so this one's not as bright, so you can go back and forth 100 times. Kind of playing till you're happy. Ta-da! He's just kind of rosy cheeked now. All right, pretty simple. While I have that out, the ears, if you're gonna add any shading to the ears, and I say yes, you can go ahead and use the gelato pens again to do that, or you can just use some paint and an angle brush. So I'm gonna show you that. So angle brushes, I use the heck out of, and I can't always find them when I need them. And I destroy them regularly. So you guys make sure you put them on the Christmas list for me. Okay, so an angle brush simply has an angle to it. I want it slightly damp. Okay, so let's go ahead and go in with the original color. And I'm just gonna put a little bit on the outside. And if it's not contrasty enough, I may come in, you guys see that? So it's this one. I may come in and do it a couple times or pick a darker paint. Let me show you what it looks like with the gelato pen. And I just run it, it's like a crayon, it's soft. I run it along the edge. Just go ahead and grab a little bit of white paint. Just needs to be mostly wet with enough paint to set it. Maybe I should have picked pink paint. Yes, I should have. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Everybody's having fun. I guess I'm having fun too. All right, so just keep playing with that till you're happy. And then decide what you want. One is a little bit more neon than the other. So that's just some options to add some shading. Just gonna fix them to match. Add some shading to the side of your rabbit ears on the outside. So now the booty, okay, if you're not ready for this, you don't have to do it. Paint it, glue it, display it. It's great. If you're like, I got a lot of art experience and I need a little bit more, Kelly Sue, then that's great. You can do this step with paint, do shading with paint if you wanted to, with a sponge, a Q-tip, the gelato pens we just been talking about. I'm gonna go ahead and get a sponge out. A cute little new bee. Aren't those cute? So cute. Okay, I'm going in. I'm just gonna make sure I'm kind of damp. And then I'm dipping, I'm taking the extra off. Dip, 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 extra off. Let me get a paper bag, that helps. That's my bouncer of choice. I don't always use paper plates. I actually prefer a lunch bag. And I'm just gonna hit the edge. If it's too much, if you're like, oh wow, that's just so dark. Some things you can do, which I'm not, I kind of like it. What you can do is just take your angle brush and some gray paint and blend it just a smidge. It's just a little practice. Now I am using my fluid acrylic paint just because it's more intense pigment. That's it. That's it. I'm not even using the good stuff. So because, here's a trick, because you're stronger on one side, crossing your body, you might not like how this turns out. Instead, turn your piece, change your point of view. Hello, I'm shedding. It's a hairy rabbit. Ha, 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 ha. Sorry, I got up early. Okay. Super sweet. Okay, oh, I forgot to paint his feet. So you're gonna do the same thing with this head. It doesn't need to take very long. Doesn't take very long at all. And it helps him stand out from the board just a little bit. Again, if you don't, it doesn't have to be perfect. And if you don't love it, don't do it. Or if you try it and you don't love it, soften it with the gray paint or just cover it up. People ask where I get the sponges. Okay, I don't love that one. I just get my sponges because we put out so many art kits from Amazon. If you want, I can share the link. I'm not an affiliate. Who has time for that stuff just to earn 10 cents? If you like it, buy me a coffee. You know what I mean? Some of this silly stuff that, if you're really serious about painting, if you're really serious about helping others, if you're really serious about putting out your boxes, you don't have time to chase down a penny unless you have a giant team. Maybe someday I'll feel differently than that, but honestly, I just like to let you know where I get something. Because, oh, Peeps, I'm seeing a comment. Rachel likes Peeps. My kids like Peeps. I'm gonna dry this super quick. It's a hot air gun, not a hair dryer, only because that's what I have. And it's faster. Because I wanna do my edging on my feet. Then I just have to paint my letters and, oh, the bow tie. Okay guys, help me out. What color bow tie? My show, purple. Hi Vic. Peeps make fantastic s'mores. They do. When the sugar crystallizes and gets hot, you have a couple seconds before it's napalm. Am I right? Hey Becky, so I have almost all your wholesale order. I think it is done. I think so. But we have to finish wrapping it and everything. So just keep in mind that we're going to that celebration of life for my brother later in this week. So our house sitter can put them on the porch, or you can come a little early if you want. Whatever you want, let us know. I would suggest pay attention to the weather, and then you can let us know. Oh my gosh, I love you so much. You fat little rabbit. Okay, so the bow tie. Who's got an idea what color for the bow tie? I kind of like the idea of either neon green. It's purple. do orange. There's a lot of colors represented in the Easter, like a lot of colors represented, if I follow along with the photo. Okay, where are we gonna put this guy? And we will put this up to dry. Maybe I should do the Happy Easter and then decide. You guys let me know what you think. Bow tie purple, bow tie green. I don't want to do it pink, so don't offer pink. I'm looking. Okay, Happy, H-A-P-P-Y. Going back to grade school Bible camp. You know, that was really the only way the parents back in Eastern Pennsylvania could get rid of the kids during the summer. Neon green with purple polka dots. I could probably get behind that. That's as neon as I have. So I'm gonna maybe go with that with purple polka dots. Yes, I like how you think. I like it so much. Okay, so you'll wanna keep a toothpick handy for the edging. So Becky, this is a great solution for the back of all those spring gnomes you have. But maybe, I mean, I understand that we don't sell as many holidays as we do seasons, if that makes sense to everybody. Meaning, you know, most people are more interested in having something that they can keep out most of the year, and on the flip side, again, the same, at least to get started. And then as they, yeah, I hate you. Okay, this is gonna be my next fashion color, I swear. As they add to their repertoire, so to speak, then they can add some more stuff. I have citron green. It's a brighter, more yellowy green. Well, it was, and then I changed it. Maybe you guys are like this too. Maybe you amend all the colors. That is so funny. We're making our own. Here we go. Okay, so this yellow is one of our fashion colors, so it has a really nice primer in it. And I'm just gonna stick it with a tiny bit. You know what? I'm gonna pull out, yep, I have some neon fluid acrylic, and it's neon green, but it's pretty green. So I'm just gonna put a dot in at a time. Dot in at a time, and then we should have the coverage we want. We've been asked to have a lot of classes on mixing the colors. I'm not 100% sure how to teach that. I just know how to get the color I want. Let me think about it. This might be too green now. Yeah, but we're gonna go with it. So it's not too much different. Actually, it's got more yellow in it than the original. Okay, here we go. So yellow is just one of those colors that need a couple coats. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that color for the edging though. Super sweet. I was waiting for football Sunday to be over before I painted this. But I might have waited too long. No, I don't think so. But it's still really good to have the resource in the YouTube channel and also on our website to help the people that need a little bit more help. Some of our wholesalers let people watch the video first. Perfect. Okay, I need my toothpick. Hello. All right, it's a big pink neon box with toothpicks in it. All right, I got my potter's needle. I'm gonna go with that. There we go. I'm gonna blow dry that, give it one more coat, and then hello, purple dots. I love polka dots, me too. In fact, Becky, every time I would get pregnant, I would put this and 40 pounds into a dress that had white polka dots. It'll look like Minnie Mouse with big boobs. I don't know why I would keep doing that, but I do love polka dots. In fact, the photo shows big polka dots on the backer board, which I love, but I don't know that I'm going to show them today so you guys understand how to use the little daughters. And my favorite daughters are packed away. I'm saying daughters, not daughter. Oh, I'm loving this green. Actually, against this, yeah, against the gray rabbit and the turquoise background. Oh, it's a super beautiful background. So happy with it. Don't forget we need to do some shading for sure. And typically I like to do the shading wet on wet, but if you added enough water to your paint before you used your sponge, you wouldn't actually need to do that step. Okay. Going ahead. Whoop. Just blow drying it super quick. So this could, if you wanted a girl rabbit, you could put this in the ear section, and this would be a girl rabbit. Or if you wanted a boy rabbit, it just goes on his chestal area. You decide. Okay, so dots. If you don't have a polka dotter and you don't have a Q-tip, a couple things you can do is you can grab a Sharpie. It just depends what size you want. You can use the back side of a paintbrush. Look for the big one if you want a big one. Or you can grab like a Sharpie and use that for a guide and then fill them in. So that's probably what I'm going to do. So I have a Sharpie cap. Again, you can use the back side of a paintbrush. You can do little kids and fingerprints. And that's kind of fun for them to know that they helped mom or grandma or auntie do this step. Or if you have daughters, that's fine. Sponge daughters. I know I have a bunch. Yeah, mine are missing in action. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to dip. I'm going to put some off the board and some on the board. And you can just leave them as dots. This would be, or dots are filled in, right? Maybe not. So much fun. Just want to show that to you real quick. And you can leave it just like that. Or you can take a second and fill them in. So don't try to do them all with one dot, and make sure that the opening doesn't have a bubble there. When I had my studio, I would keep all the leftover Sharpie lids for my kids to do this, or even adults. They like having a tracer of some sort a lot of times. And then on the inside, I think I'm just going to do big old dots. So these are circles and these are dots. Circles and dots. Fill them in, don't fill them in. I can't decide. So I think I'm going to let it sit, and when I finish and show my final project, I may have these filled in, or I'm going to leave them just like this because it's cute. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside to dry. I'm going to paint my Happy, my H-A-P-P-Y. Thinking cream might be a good choice because we have a lot of colors happening here. A lot. So there's a cream I like to use. Oh, actually put this on too. There's a cream I like to use. Hold on a second. I forgot I really like this color. Let me check it against the backer board. I just don't know if it's gonna be different enough. What I could do is put a lot of dots on there. Let's try it. This is a waterfall by Ceramic Coat. It's kind of like open. Looking pretty cute. I know. I don't really want to fill them in. I think I like them. And I can always put like a little white apostrophe inside too. Excuse me. Okay, I'm just gonna pick up a sponge and get these painted. Sponge brushes are fine too. A little on, a little off. Try in the waterfall, see if I like it. I'm picking up a paintbrush instead. Picking up a round paintbrush. Get wet, dry it off. This might not be, okay, so it doesn't, we're gonna do our silver trick. It's not showing different enough, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix the blue, the waterfall, with silver paint. It's shimmery. That's a trick I like to do. It darkens and drabs down the paint, or even lightens it, depending on what color you're using. Oh, that might have been way too much silver. Without making it pastel-y. Like, I have a lot of pastel happening, so I feel like I kind of need to ground some of it. Here we go. Plus, it gives it a little bit more. There's more happening. I like that so much better. Boom. You know, and then there's so many uses for glitter on this one. So many uses. Hello, it's pastel. So it's not quite gray, and it's not quite grayish teal. Kind of very interesting. The HAP are welded together, meaning they're stuck together on purpose. But they do come apart if you're a little rough on them. You can glue them together on the project. But this is a pretty good weld, actually. Well, you know what would be nice too if you went alternating colors. Yep, that would have been good too. This will definitely need a second coat, which I probably won't do right now because I'm going to take a walk with Sabrina here in a few minutes. And the puppies, because she did not go to Montana with us, so I'm kind of missing Sabrina a little bit. All right, so the project shows the Easter words being all different colors, kind of like Easter eggs, and I do like that, but boy, that's time consuming. So I'm going to go ahead and follow along until I don't. I mean, you probably do the same thing, like you follow along on the photo, and you find your own way. I don't know, tell me, do you follow all the way through with the suggestion photo? And I think that the people that do either really, really like that finished product, or they're very, you know, like nervous to do their own thing. Okay, so okay, I have pink. I already have that ready to go. It's not super dark, but I didn't really want to boom in your face pastel-y pink. So this pink I made from red, lots of white, a little bit of raw sienna, which is a yellow, a brownish yellow, and some gray. very close to the Craft Smart Rosé. Fancy. Okay. Yellow. My yellow is pretty bright. The photo showed deep yellow, but this yellow has a primer, so I'm going to use it for the first coat. And you can see I'm going to need several coats. But welcome to the world of wimpy pigmentation or coverage. Oh, pigments? Yeah, there's so many different words you could use. It's wimpy, even with the primer. And I would say our paints probably have more of a satin finish than they do a bright sheen like gloss or even semi-gloss. So what you can do is if you're using a paint that doesn't have enough shine for you, is you can pick up some polyacrylic, which by the way isn't super shiny, or the triple thick. Do I have some of that here? Yeah, triple thick clear glaze. If you don't have a lot of white, this might be the answer for you to get exactly what you want. And that's always a game changer. That little bit of sheen makes your work look fantastico. All right, so I'm thinking they use, I love this color, the teal me about it. I might pick up some, I might mix it. Hold on. That's such a fantastic color. I'm using it. It's just going on there. It's a bluish green. It's not quite teal. Very, very similar to Mermaid's Tail, which is a deco art. It's super similar. That might be a little bit more deep. Maybe. Definitely it's more glossy, but like I said, we can control the gloss. And then E, they have orange. I don't even have any orange on my work at all. Let me go back into the yellow real quick, because the yellow's dry. And I will contemplate the orange. So it's going to take 3 coats of yellow. And if you didn't have something like our color here, you might even need a little bit more. Yellow is very difficult, my friends. I don't know why it doesn't play well with others in the sandbox, but it just doesn't. Okay, then I'm going to do my green. It doesn't have to be the same green as my tie, my bow tie. I have another green I didn't use. This was my Grinchy green. If I hate it, I'll switch it out. It'll make a good base coat. A lot of people ask, could I do base coats of gray first? Yes, of course. But I kind of want to get right to the color. You can. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. So I'm just making myself happy here. Do you paint the sides? So Cheryl, great question. We get asked that all the time, and it just depends. I don't. However, if you drip a lot, or if you use too much paint, or if you just like it, then go ahead and do that. I tend to not, and if I drip like right here, and if it was bugging me, and you guys know it's not, that's not, okay, that was my foot again. I would just mix up some brown paint to match, and then just cover it a little bit. Hey, Shelly, nice to see ya. Okay. So that's a great question. So I rarely paint the sides, but that's a personal preference and the fact that I'm a little lazy. You know that. So since the Sharpie's so good, I'm going to cover it. Okay, so the last color I was going to use was orange. You know what? Here's my, it's supposed to be cat orange, but I have a new fashion color in the bottle. And, oop, it's pretty bright. So cad orange is more like this. And that's what I was going for. And I didn't quite hit it, but it doesn't mean that this color isn't pretty. So let's try it. We're not going to call it cad orange. I'd call it not cad orange. I'd call it something else for sure. But it has a primer in it and orange is already. Okay, so orange would be a great color to put gray or gray mixed with the orange for a base coat. Any of the warm colors. Okay, I might not have had it mixed enough because, like I said, I just came up with it, went into the paint shop and said, this is what I want. And thought I was close, but what I got, I wasn't happy with. So maybe I just needed to mix it a little bit. Looks okay, right guys? It's just the yellow and the orange, and quite frankly, the green could all use one more coat. So at that time, you can choose to use a sponge, a paintbrush, whatever makes you feel confident when you're painting. We've got this. Just gonna paint it or dry it up real quick. I'm gonna bring my board back out and we're gonna assemble. I'm not gonna glue because before I put it in front of my house, I wanna put a second coat and maybe dots on everything. But I just wanted to show you what we're doing. You know what? I think, hold the phone. I think the bow tie could use some edging. I'm gonna bring out some distressed inks for that. I think the green would not show very well. I may go with the black. It says black, but it's not black, guys. Ooh, pink. Ooh, purple. We're gonna go with that. We're gonna try it. If we hate it, we'll just go over it. Okay, so I just am using the outside to scrape it, but it was just to see if I liked it. So angle brush is still good, or a small brush. This is from Jim Holtz. Got it from Amazon. You get 12 colors for 30 bucks. So what I like about this is that the purple is kind of a deep, dirty burgundy wine. This paintbrush blows, guys. Dirty burgundy wine, which kind of is great for shading something that's purple. You can see it better on the sponge. It is water soluble, so if you go right outside your lines like I just did, you can take your wet wipe and you can fix it. You don't have to do this step. It does give it a little bit more interest. You can do it with black. I typically like to do it with a damp sponge, but I like to play with my stuff. Heck, most of us were into scrapbooking heavily, or maybe you still are, at least once or twice. And we bought everything, or maybe mixed media, and you bought everything that was recommended. You probably have most of these materials. If not, send me a little ring-a-ding-ding, and I'll get a link for you. I'll share where I purchased mine. And I just kind of want to go around this. It probably has an official name, not like the aglet. Yeah. So it gives it just a little bit more, you know, the bunny sign. Oh, Shelly, you're always so kind. I love you. You're so kind to everybody. And so informative and helpful, and you spread the word about it is what we do here. Just adore ya. Okay. Where's the lid? Okay, so it was supposed to be this color. I think it worked into more like a Merlot. Let's get this baby going. Keep in mind, I'm gonna go in and do a little fits in, and a couple more coats on things that might need it. And your bunny is going to be taller than my bunny. I think I need to fix his cheek. I like this cheek and not that one so much. Found the Q-tip. Okay, because I got the original. As I said, oh, that bunny's sticking off the board, let's shrink it. And he went, I don't know. And he did for me. And I'm like, make the bunny bigger. The bunny needs to be bigger. So your bunny will be bigger. It will go off the board. I mixed a couple colors to get this design. I mixed our Tell Me About It and the Bluesy Goosey. Okay, here we go. One under. Okay. So you need to know that the feet go off the board. Yours will go a little bit more off the board, which was shown in that original design. So I would be careful when putting it away. Your bunny will go further up the board because your bunny will fit the board. So it's going to go fat. And so here's the head. So I'm guessing it'll go a third of the way up and not where mine stops. Okay, so your bunny can be a girl bunny or it can be a boy bunny. You decide if you're doing this also. Gets a little heart. We're going to put a little love in the heart. I'll probably put a dot or two. A couple eyeballs. I'll probably put a little eyeball gleam. A little dot or two. Right now he's got that I'm a zombie look, but I'm cute. Will I eat your face? Okay, here's the two bunny ears. Like I said, I'm really going to fix this side of the cheek. Definitely going to put some dots and some wiggles, but I kind of love how he's coming together. Pretty easy. I don't even think it's been an hour. I may change up this look. When you're taking font off of the blue tape, be very careful. Don't just rip it. You can rip the font. Maybe. We'll see. So we use every spare inch there. Happy. Doesn't look bad, right? I might do some highlighting with some white. So we know that the R ends here, right there, right there, and the E is under the, right there, and then you just, that's how I space up. And then S or the T is in the middle-ish. Bam. Bam. Easter, Easter. Okay, now I can decide whether I want to space it out more. Now remember, and this is why I knew that you guys had room for a bigger bunny. Your bunny is going to go up to about here. So that's what you guys are going to end up with. You can thank me now that I gave you a big fat bunny. But since mine is not, mine is just the sample bunny, I can move these down a little bit. Okay, if you live in an area that you're going to have frost or it's going to drop dramatically in temperature, the glue that I like to use doesn't go that cold, and it's tight bond, quick and thick. You can use super glue, but you want to kind of research the cold point of that glue. If it drops below, your pieces will probably fall off. Oh, girl bunny, boy bunny. At least the bow covers up that joint there. So what you can do is if you're handy, or if you've got a partner that's handy, you can just drive a pin nail, just one through everything, and you'll be good to go. So I hope you really liked the Happy Easter Bunny. Remember, yours will be taller and chubbier. You're welcome. So try not to eat too many hot peeps, okay? Have a good day. Happy Sunday. Bye-bye.